All right. Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing? Hello, the world. Hello, YouTube. I hope all is well and fine. So, today I thought I wanted to do a tutorial, or actually, I wanted to look at this new tool because Yurik's guest blog, he just posted uh, a new post about some of the works that he's been doing. And so I thought it would be very interesting to look at one particular tool that I have had some hard time relatively in the past, and I would like to explore the updates and see how to use this tool once and for all. So the tool in question is the Access system, and let me actually, before I get too far, I wanted to show you this. So where's that? Right here. So what I've decided to do is that as you can see here, I've been searching for some kind of text recognition ability, uh, and I'm experimenting with speech notes. So occasionally I might talk a little bit like a computer, just because I would like this AI to be able to understand me audibly and more clearly, because I would like to um, I would like to take this text and create an auto text on my YouTube channel, so that it will be easier for people in different languages and cultures to use the translated feature that Google offers to be able um, to read some of my content in their specific language. So to be able to do that, I have to speak, in a very, very short, concise kind of cut way. So if this is frustrating someone, I hope they understand. The other reason why I am doing this is because it's easier for Google search to find keywords in text rather than in videos and sounds and stuff like that. So um, talking like this, if when I usually make those extremely lengthy tutorials, I may say a lot of things that are in between some of the information. So it's a lot easier for Google to go to that right word that I spoke when it remembers through this kind of auto text editing. So as you can see, it's working. It's not so bad. So now I can copy this and introduce it into the YouTube channel so that it will initiate the autocorrect. Before that, my God, I was having a lot of trouble because I was trying to re listen and edit and rewrite all the YouTube channels. It was just not feasible to work this way. So I think that this is one of those areas. Maybe this is artificial intelligence. I'm not yet sure what's powering this application, but it's very useful at this point. So enough of all that small jazz. So let's go to. So this is the guest blog that just came out yesterday. So I'm very interested in the new access behavior description that Euro gives here, because this is very, very powerful. Before that, even on the previous video that I created, the skyscraper, it is very hard to control the different height. And so in that kind of context, if you have a variety of heights, let's say you have a mechanical flaw somewhere that requires a different height, or a foundation that requires a different height. So, if you want a tool that controls that, and so Revit and archicad and all these other programs already know how have their own way of managing levels, so to speak. And so, but Freecad didn't have one. And before, I used to attempt to to play with a way of doing it, with the constraints and stuff like that, but it wasn't very productive. So now that he added this new feature, it should be very promising. So what I would like to do is now attempt to find a proper way to use it, because even though it might be straightforward, you know, Freecad is one of those programs where I have to try and try and try and try before before I'm just checking to see if this is working, because I am not paying attention to what's going on. So once in a while I'll be jumping back and forth just to make sure that there's not a lot of errors, and to remind myself that I have to slow down my speed and stuff like that. Okay, so in Freecad I already was playing with the whole thing last night all the way till 2 o'clock. I was just attempting to use it, and I was not very successful. As you can see, the text is not looking right, and also I was not able to generate the floor systems the way I wanted, and all those features. So that being said, it's also because I don't want to make extremely lengthy tutorials anymore. Not anymore, but I don't want to always make lengthy tutorials. I want to now make some few short tutorials which are a little bit straight to the point and easy to follow along the lines. And so I started experimenting with this, because I don't want to sit here for 2 hours and make a tutorial that I'm just poking around. I want to have a first glance at how it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this and start a new Freecad document. Close. Start a new document. Alright, so go to the top view, make sure that's on my top view. Alright, scroll out a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm simply going to come here, and then, well, let me see what happens if I select that. If I click here, if I just click the axis tool, well, in the report view I have something that says please select at least one axis. So, but I don't have an error message, so let me do that again. No error message here. So it's giving me an instruction, please at least select one axis. So now I have to select at least one axis, so select that. So now I insert one axis. So now it's telling me that it created an arc axis, arc.make axis. Okay, so this axis already has some properties. We're gonna leave it at what they are for now. For example, the 3 meters tall along. Maybe I want to just see how to manipulate them, so I'm going to double click on this one, for example, and maybe I am going to shift this at 2 meters, 2, like this, and then this one at 3, like this, and maybe this one at 2 again. Okay, and maybe another one, add another one. And so I've been learning Python right now, so now I know that this is a float. This is a float number. It's interesting to see how this represents in here, but I would like to see how this looks like in code, but small steps at a time. Okay, so I have to enter here maybe 1000. Or 2000. Let's make it interesting, and let's give it an angle 35 or negative 35. I want to see what happens when they cross. And since it's too far, let me actually make it 1000. actually 700. Good. It has a nice cross. Okay, so I close that. Okay, so now let's hypothetically say, this is just the way I naturally investigate Freecad. So I want to, I have a structure that I want to insert the structure. So I'm going to select the structure. Whatever structure comes there first, I'm going to just use it. So this guy, I put him there. So right now I want to see how it reads positioning. There's all this information here. And so trace back call. See, when you see all this red, you have the immediate sensation that maybe there's an error. So I'm not yet very good at understanding what's going on, but we'll see. Okay, so now if I select this, and so I create an axis system. So now it created this axis system telling me to update the model. So I update the model like so. So now I can select this structure, and let me check if this thing is working. Let's see if it's going to update. Did you stop working? Oh, so as soon as it fills the page, it has to stop. Interesting. Um, okay, so maybe not this tutorial, but I might find another tutorial. Um, Hold on. So, edit. Um, Hold on here, guys. Voice typing. Click to speak. Click to speak. Alright. Click to speak. So how does this work? Click to speak. Type your voice. Type with your voice. Click to speak. So I'm clicking to speak. Oh boy, how does this work, man? Voice typing. Tools, voice typing. Click to speak. I am clicking and I'm speaking. Oh my god. Alright. I'm gonna have to figure this out later. My experiment here did not seem to yield something productive. Okay. I'm not exactly sure why it stopped adding information. Oh, okay, maybe it did not stop. Oh, okay, so it's still working. Good, 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 good. Okay, so coming back here. So here I select the structure now, and I come to the data, and I see where it says axis, and so I select that, and first let me try just the axis, and see what happens. So now I did that. It's telling me to update the structure. So update the structure. So now, so what I don't understand is, okay, so it puts the structure here. So what does that mean? So I have to place the in original uh, so let's try again one more time. Select the structure and place the structure right here. Okay, let's try that again. Axis. Okay, so it offsets that in such a way. So that means that's not what I want. So whatever structure you insert somewhere, that structure has to be at the center origin of any project. Maybe that's what I understand here. So do that and then update. Okay, so now it works. This is what I couldn't do last night. I couldn't understand how it was generating that stuff. So basically the rule of thumb is you have to create whatever object you're creating at the center here. So let's see. Now if I want a circle, like this, and I say normal, -1, like this. Maybe too deep. This is yeah, whatever. So now I can tell it to follow my axis. Okay. Oh my god, this is beautiful. So at any time you can just do this. So now let's add another axis. Top view, and go to the top, and then I'm going to add another axis, second axis. This one I'm going to rotate that placement 90 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to stretch it and extend that so I'm also going to make this one a little bit funky. I'm going to double click into the menu and maybe give this last guy a rotation of 25, 30. Okay, that's good enough for what we're trying to do. Close that. And instead of using this to position that, let me increase the length. Like this. Looking good. So now what I'm going to do is just use the move tool, not copy. And I'm just going to place it somewhere around there. So I'm going to increase the length a little bit, 10. And then just keep moving. Select that. No, cancel. What's going on? Okay, so select that and move. Okay. Likewise, I am going to take this guy and also stretch it like this. So this basically says that for any new project that you're starting, you have to do a little bit of setting up. Probably around here. Increase that again. Okay, let me file save this first. Axis test 2. System test 2. Like this. And do this. Why not? Okay. So now it seems to me that these things like to appear at the edges. So now I'm wondering, let's see. So this is my structure. I'm going to add this axis system in here. So I double click here and then I say I can select this and I say add like this. So now everything is inside. It's very smooth. All right. What else? So now I can select this and go back to the axis and specify that instead of having one axis, well, I could select the other one just to show you like this. It will pinch everybody there. Do the same thing for this structure as well. And voila. Everything seems to be working well. I couldn't do this last night, man. I was testing everything everywhere. It didn't work, man. That's interesting. So now instead what I want to do rather is, see, the good thing is that it works with if your object is a sketch, is derived from a sketch, or if it's derived from just the regular structure itself. So that's very great. So now select the axis system as a whole. Take my guy here, select the axis system here as a whole. And let's see. Boom. Voila. Oh boy. Oh man. I have never been able to make this thing work like this before. Let's see. So this is where, you know, you can say, okay, I want to tweak this thing a little bit more. I can select this guy. And what do I want to do? So it's crossing with another guy. Let me select this number 4 guy. Actually, let me change the angle. I'm gonna go with negative. Oops, nope, not exactly good looking. Let's go with 0 for now. Okay, at 0, 10. I see. That's That's number 3. I want number 4. -20. And then your spacing will be 4,000. All right, perfect. 4,000. Let's make it -15. I'm just doing whatever, guys, just to manipulate it and see how the settings behave. 10. Okay, so in real life, you're not gonna have a column so close to the other one. So, like that. Now, let me bring this guy in a little bit. This is number 5. Let's get you a little bit closer, 500. So, number 4, 3,000. 2,000. Okay, maybe 2.5. So great, man. You see how this thing updates like that? Okay. Let's move on. It's already complex enough. Okay. So we see that this works. This is the intruder. Okay. So now I want my levels, right? So this thing, I'm wondering how this is gonna work. So the problem that I had with the earlier test was the fact that the text on top of all of these things was not right, because the new property of this thing is that you can give it a label. You can say what am I gonna call this? Horiz 1. No, Horiz X1. Horiz X2. Horiz X3. Horizontal X4. This is assuming you are trying to give it a specific name. Horiz X5. Let's fix this a little bit. Okay, so you close that, and so now I can come here to the view and show label. It's already false by default, so I can say true. So if I go to top view, so I have this, so it's easy to read, and I can control the bubble as well, like it says on the so where's the bubble? It says bubble show. You can change the position, or you can put it at the end, or both, or none. So it's really up to you. So this makes it very intuitive. So that being said, now let's look at creating the vertical axis. So what I was trying to do yesterday, for example, was the method I tried to use was that I went to the top view like this, and so I created another axis tool like such, as you see here. Let me maybe increase the length. Let's go to 10 as well, like everybody else, and then let's give it, let's say each height would be 2 meter by 2 meter differences. So I'm gonna double click that, probably say 2 meters. I'm not sure if this understands values yet, but we can try. 2m, 2m. So far it has not updated, you know, because I can see here number 1, number 2 is spaced accordingly, so it doesn't understand. So that means that you cannot say I want 20 inches yet. I don't think it understands units yet, but let's go with what it does understand for now. And then let's say my middle floor is 3, for example. Okay, so I'm gonna call this level 1, level 2, level 3, a bit of funkiness, floor plan level 5, roof height level. Okay, close that. And then so what I do is I come here and I say I want to show text true, everything is good. And so now I want to turn off the bubbles. None. Okay, well, maybe for now I want them on. Okay, so what I will do is, for example, I'm going to try to rotate that. I'm going to come to the placement and position, because in Yorick example you can see that the text is, you know, aligned in the same direction as the plane, vertical, you know, so I need to be able to do that in one way or the others. So I have a second idea in mind, but let me show you what I was trying to cook up yesterday. So I can simply select this like this, and then rotate that like so, which does that. But now that's fine, but that's not the way I want it. So let's say I had an imaginary plane that I'm going to draw here. I'm going to select this line, and then part I want to extrude. By the length, I want you to be 1m. Okay, so I have not yet really paid close attention to the new draft. What is it? Sketch, no, create new work plane, proxy work plane. I've not yet looked at that, so I'll see how it works in another tutorial. So so let's pretend that that's what I want. So I'm going to select that face, and then select my guy, and then try to rotate him. Okay, like this. So it seems to work this way, but the text does not do the same effect. So something is different. Now, if that was the case, now let's say this is my initial base plane. Let me see if that depends on the plane, right? So I select that, That's where my plane is, you know, my working plane is already. So now let me say I want to create an axis. Okay, so the generation of the axis does not depend on the plane, so I'm not exactly sure how you get the text to rotate. Maybe I'm gonna ask him how he, you know, the trick he used there. But that's for the text, but I think that the rest works. So let's keep on moving here. So I go to the top like this, and so now I can just select this guy and probably I'm gonna position him somewhere. Go to the top view like this, select that, and I just want to move you someplace where I can use you. So maybe right here. Okay. So now what can I do? Let me see if I can create a beam. I want a category. Let's say preset. No. No, that's not how it's going to work. Let's see. Top view. I've never created a beam that's linked, so I'm not exactly sure what you would do. So what do you do? So do you first? Hold on, so how will you do that? So in his example, you know, he clearly has the beams going on around. Okay, so how would you do that? When Freecad hits you in the head. So I want this height to be at I think it's at 3 right now. Structure, yeah, it's at 3. I want you to be at 2. So how will you make those beams? Let me try something. If I take a line and I do that and I tell it to be structure, what happens? No, the structure does not understand it's just a line. So because what I want to be able to do is just like I inserted a column right here, I like to just go to the top like this. If I select my structure, category, precast, beam, okay, an I-beam, a pillar, panel, the slab is there. I just want a regular beam. So how would you do that? An I-beam. Let's try an I-beam. Interesting. What just happened? This is not an I-beam. Alright. So in these kinds of instances, when I don't exactly know what to do, I begin to, like, if I cannot figure out how something was made, I will begin to figure out how I can do it in a alternative way. For example, what I can probably attempt to do is say something along the lines of, I will select this face, for example, and then maybe not. That's not gonna work that way. I wanted to draw a face there so I can control that, but no, it's not gonna work that way. I want something that keeps the that keeps the control of the shape, that allows you to derive the shape based on the grid. So I want the grid, uh, the uh, the grid system that you create to control the placement of the object. That's what I'm trying to do, not I trying to control the object, because eventually when you modify all of these things, you want them to update and generate by themselves. So controlling the grid is going to be much more interesting in this kind of instance, but I'm not exactly sure how to do that. Or maybe what you will do, for example, is you go to the top view and you just simply sketch something there. Sketch. Actually go back there, make sure that I am on the XY, and now I'm going to sketch. And so inside my sketch, I create new sketch. Yes. Okay, so now I have a lot of interesting guys. I can just grab these edges like this. Okay, so do this. Nope. Go back to the sketch. delete this line. Okay, so which line is this? Line 5. Maybe that's not the best idea to do that, so I'm just going to select a square. Let's check that and check that. But my sketch is not constrained. Okay, so update. And close. So which means that now I can, let's see, if I generate a structure from that. Structure has an invalid shape, so let's see why. Is it because I have all this? Okay, let's close that. Now it's giving me a structure. So now I want this structure. Let's see. No, the structure. I want your height. Let's do something realistic. 0.2. Let's go with 3. So now let me try something. I'll select you and select my new axis. I'm going to rename that levels, like this. And so what I'm going to do, select that structure. First, let's try just connecting that to the levels and see what happens. Okay, and update that. Alright, so as you see, it went all the way to the end here and placed my stuff. So basically, the rule of thumb once again is don't forget to draw whatever you're drawing here at the center. So, but let's see, go to the front. But everything is well aligned with the level. Okay, so it works with that. So now let's try something else. Let's see, let me add the levels to the axis. Select this level, add, okay, and then click OK. It's frozen a bit. I created something interesting. Now, why is this behaving like this? Okay, so what does this mean? uh, what does this mean? I guess the thing is working, but I guess it's because I'm trying something extremely complex. Because if I were to draw these beams right at the center, it would, generate it across. Let me do that. Instead of doing the levels, I'm gonna do the axis system. Okay. We're having some interesting effects here. So, let's look at what just happened. I think that I'm not going to use that structure because that structure is not drawn at the center of the origin. So what I'm going to do instead is that I'm going to create something that's from the center of this origin. Let me see, circle that has a radius of let's say 2, 1, like this. Alright, so what I want to do is draw my box. Like this. And so this box, I'm just going to change the length or the height. Okay, right, something like that. I just want it to be at the center, so now I create that structure with it like this. Go to the normal, -1. Give it the same properties as the other one. A height of 0.2, 0.3. Alright, so now let's try that again. So axis and axis system. What you got, man? What do you have? Okay. Okay. So it seems to work well in some aspect, but right now I am not exactly yet sure how to control the length. How to generate the structure length. But we will see. But one cheat set. Okay. Okay. Now, this is a hypothetical cheating set. Let me hide that. I wonder if there's a way to tell this, let's say this foundation's footings not to show up. I just want you to show up on two. I just want you to show up on two axes. Or no, maybe what I do for that is that I create a new axis system. A new axis system, where are you? Of course I have to select, so I select this two axis system and I create a new axis system which is only constituted of these two. So this is going to be renamed as axis system foundation footer, right? So now it's very easy for me to select the foundation now, like this, and tell it to be assigned only to its axis system, right? Like that. So now I'm left with this, which is meant to only control requires a little bit of thinking, you know. Okay, so we've got that figured out. So you see, the reason there's a gap here is because the height of the column has no link. So maybe having here a height connected to the level height. The height can be connected to the level. Yeah, that would be a very interesting option to add here. Height connected to the level. But that shows you how you can still have some kind of independent degree of control as well. So we're not done yet, so I'm still trying to control the beam. So let's do this. Okay. Now in this particular scenario, it should be interesting to maybe have an ability to highlight some grids that you do not want to control, because maybe I don't want all the beams at this level, for example. But maybe in real life you need them, but maybe let's say I didn't want them, you know, this area. But let's see. Okay, so the cheat that I was talking about, how would you do that? You would simply use, in this particular instance, the wall. Alright, so let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to go, I want to control this thing. I want it to maintain its constraints. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the sketcher. Let me make sure I am in the top view. Okay, that's good, top view. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the sketcher. New sketch, sketch plane. Okay, so this is where I create the constraint. I initiate these check marks like this. so that when the size of the column changes, the length between them can also be updated automatically. So um, on this side as well. On this side as well. On this side as well. So let's say that's enough for now. Now I'm just going to link all of my lines. Maybe close this for now. I want to go to the wireframe mode because I can't see anything. So now I'm going to draw a line. Actually, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to select this. Oh, I can't select the grid line. That's interesting. Alright, not a big deal. So what I want to do is I want to put a line there, which is going to be linked to this end, like this. But here I want to make sure that this distance and this distance, no, not that. Select 2 points. I want this, and this line like this. Perfect. Okay, so I'll continue. Like this. Like so. Okay, so let's hypothetically say that that's what we have. No, not that. It's supposed to be symmetrical. No, not that, not that. What I want to do is select this point, no, select this, and then this. Okay, select this, this. That's not really aligned to so how will you handle that? I'm not sure at this point. Okay, so close this. So that's what we have. Now select the sketch, come here, arc, and drop my wall. Zoom. Perfect. So what I do is go back to flat lines. Mm-hmm. Of course, I can change the thickness. Let's say 1. Okay, so now let's test this. Okay, let me take this guy. And I want to change number 4. Number 4 has an offset of that, so, and I want to go to 0 here. So it's taking a bit of time to think. Think. Okay, so now it's starting to tell me where Freecad is susceptible to take a lot of time to think about the nature of the calculation and constraints that you're imposing on it. Okay, so now let's look at our results. So clearly the wall did not update. So my strategy has failed. It has failed. So basically, maybe what would be helpful to have is an ability to generate, close this. It's an ability to generate sketches based on other lines. Or, let me see if drawing a line on top of this makes it connected. A draft wire, of course. So let's do that. Oh no, failed. I just want to see if the draft wire has a hidden ability to connect to something that I didn't know about, you know, to parametrically connect to something. So now let me take this axis again and change number 4, -5. Let's see. In the meantime, that's cooking. Let's analyze how far we are with our text guy, with our speech notes. Seems to be doing good. Doesn't seem like I'm doing a lot of grammatical mistakes like I was doing before. I'm trying my best to pronounce as clearly and as audible as I possibly can. Alright, perfect. Bring back Freecad. So our update occurred, but the line did not. So I do not have any luck there. And of course, when I tried it with the sketcher earlier, it did not work. Let's see, sketcher again. New sketcher. Alright, do that. So first of all, I cannot just select that edge. Not allowed. Okay, I got you. Not allowed. So what do I do then? No, I need a way to connect and to link. Alright, not a possibility at this point in Freecad. That's my genuine conclusion at this point. On unless there's another method. But what I would like to do rather is that I would like to pursue more of this in the sense of, well, if I was able to connect the lines to the grid, then even creating floors would be very interesting, because then I can link the initial sketch of the floors to the base of the grid system as well. So I think I'm gonna end this analysis or this overview at this point here. And so when I figure out some more stuff, I think I'm gonna make another tutorial concerning this. But for now, this is where this is at. Alright guys, so I hope this tutorial was a little bit entertaining, and see you on to the next tutorial.